So take a look at what dropped on the NewYorkTimes.com website, bought and paid for by CBS. The article is quite a lengthy bit of BS, but you will have to read it for yourself. There's far too much to go through here, but I am going to just summarize it for you. It's titled, Women Drive the Action in Star Trek Discovery. Booyah! It's essentially an interview with Heather Caden, who's executive producer on Star Trek Discovery Season 2, and she goes in detail about how important this series is for women and for women of color and for same-sex couples, and it just really gets headache-inducing. It really does. Let me just take this little excerpt here where she talks about Mikey Sue Spock. They even ask Mikey Sue Spock, actress Seneca Martin Green, what she thinks about the character. She says, Burnham was envisioned as a woman who must find the balance between two distinctly different ideologies. She said, being human yet indoctrinated with a Vulcan way of life causes an inner conflict that is similar to a lot of people. Her complicated childhood relationship with her brother Spock will be a major part of the arc in the new season. Oh, for God's sake, bull fucking shit. I can't believe this. What they're trying to do with this, they're trying to perpetuate the narrative that if you don't like this series, if you don't like these characters, that you're homophobic and you're a misogynist. And you know what? Screw you. It's not going to work. This series is like trying to bail out the Titanic with a soup ladle at this point. It's unbelievable. I gotta wonder how much this must have cost. And you can see right there, the New York Times, paid and posted by CBS All Access. This is the lengths they're going to. Propaganda. Really? Propaganda. Unbelievable. It goes on. In Season 1, Burnham stood accused of mutiny, helped uncover a new energy source, fell in and out of love, and fought in a brutal war against the Klingons. I lost everything and had to find my way back to life. An absolution, Martin Green said of the character. Regardless of her character's doomed relationship with the mysterious Ash child of the USS Discovery's chief of security. Chief of security? There was security on the ship? Really? That's a first. Actor Shazad Latif and I speak a lot about the huge step forward we took showing a black and brown love. Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, for God's sakes. They really go there with that. They really go there with this. This is unbelievable. And she keeps talking. She just keeps making it worse.
Why is she still talking?
The responsibility of bringing something as powerful and aligning as Star Trek to a new generation of people is daunting to say the least. The responsibility of bringing something as powerful and aligning as Star Trek, aligning? She uses aligning incorrectly. To a new generation of people is daunting to say the least, she continued, but I allowed myself to stop and take time to fully feel that pressure. By doing that, then passed from me. Martin Green said it as she remembers the experience of being herself. Oh, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You. Oh. Really. Seriously. Seriously. They're going there with this. Listen, at this point, this is all they've got. And as Mecca had said one time, the moment you start leaning on this, misogyny and you trying to paint anyone who doesn't like it as a misogynist and as some kind of homophobe, that's it. You've lost. You've lost. This series has not been renewed yet for Season 3. It hasn't. They're waiting on this. Gary Beekler said they are waiting to see how the audience reacts to Spock. If they're waiting to see how the audience reacts to Spock, they are in for a load of disappointment because the way they're handling Spock is a psychopath and he's a mass murderer. Isn't anything over 2 murders a mass murderer? I don't know. Whatever. But this is not Spock. This is not Spock. This is not Pike. This is not Star Trek. Stop it. Just stop. Stop it. The experiment has failed. You tried. You failed. It is time to abandon ship. Not to get too punny, but it's time to give up this charade that this is somehow Star Trek, that you're blazing new trails. Severed heads. Severed baby heads. When has Star Trek ever featured severed baby heads? You call this Star Trek? You say this is showing the best of mankind? You're delusional. You are absolutely delusional. You are delusional thinking this is Star Trek. You're delusional thinking you're blazing new ground. You're trying to make this Game of Thrones in space, but you're not even committing fully to that. It's unbelievable. What makes you think that this was going to be successful? Nobody in the writer's room said, hey, this is bullshit. Really? Really? Season 2, everyone was expecting it to be better. Really? And you'd think it couldn't get worse, but somehow it did. It's unbelievable. I'm beside myself. I really am. I am absolutely beside myself at the terribleness and see this propaganda piece now in the New York Times. It just reeks of desperation. It really does. It absolutely reeks of abject desperation. This is what it's come down to. You're trying to guilt people into liking this, and it's not working. Believe me, you're coming across like a parent who's tried everything, and now you're trying guilt. Well, you've always done. They've always been trying guilt, but they've also been trying to sell the series on its own merits, and they couldn't. Now they're just going to guilt. You're just going to guilt. You're hoping that enough people will feel badly about not liking this series that they'll say, you know what, maybe it's not so bad. No, it is bad. It is bad. That's it. You've created a lemon. Okay? It's everything about this series is stupid. It's absolutely stupid. You should feel shame that you've had to go to these lengths to try and sell the series to an audience. The audience is not there. The audience you thought was going to be there is not there. It is time to give it up. Give it up. That's it. Give it up. We're going to talk more about this. There's a new episode of Star Trek Discovery. We'll have a recap, but this effort is not going to work. It hasn't worked so far. I don't see why it would now.
If you like this video, then please click the subscribe button. And don't forget to click the bell icon to be notified for all the latest uploaded content. Due to recent changes to YouTube's monetization policies, we'd also like to ask you to please consider supporting Midnight's Edge and its sister channel Midnight's Edge After Dark through Patreon. As thanks for their support, patrons will receive early notifications of mini-documentaries, special behind-the-scenes making of the Edge videos, bloopers, outtakes, lost episodes, and more. You can support the channel for as little as $1 a month. Be sure to check back for news and analysis on the corporate politics behind your favorite genre movies, as well as updates and discussion here at Midnight's Edge.